Damn, you switch pod. The boys are back. How are you,
Yes,
Chris?
yes, sir. Oh, good as I'm good, well rested for test week. So, yeah. How you doing, man?
Good myself. The Dan Carters of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Back for another
Mm-hmm.
week. Just church announcements. You can catch us here, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, leave your comments. That's where you fight with us. That's where you argue with us. And I'm sure, like you said, it's test week. There's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
debate around the team, who should be in the team, who's not in the team, who is in the team. Uh, a bit unusual. Game being played on Sunday, and team sheet not released on a Tuesday as usual. They said it's going to be released on Thursday.
Yeah. Something different. It's got us, I think everybody's on edge. It's the start of the all or nothing tour. That's what I call it. It's the all or nothing tour. That's what
Yeah,
it
just
is.
yeah, just some updates to that bulk squad. I mean, it was sorry, it was initially announced, and I mean, it was basically no new caps, and
Mm.
some people had their things, especially like me with Hanekom. I thought Hanekom should have been there. I'm sorry. And then what
Yeah.
happens? Vessels falls out, they bring in Crobbies and Low. Willemse falls out, they bring
Yeah.
in Hanekom. Malherbe falls out, they bring in Jordan Hendrickse. I don't know. Personally for myself, in terms of Hanekom, I'm happy that he gets a go. He deserves it. He should be there. He should have been in the initial squad. In terms of
Yeah.
Vessels, there's always going to be question marks, especially
Mm-hmm.
coming back in the URC. The performances weren't what they should have been.
Yeah.
And Hendrickse, how do you feel about that one? For me, like, I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not an inspiring call up. It's not something that you're. I mean, the form decent enough.
Yeah, formed decent enough. I think from what they saw, the back end of the Curry Cup and that sort of confidence that he had since, when he got his first cap. I think, there's something that they see there. I think there's also the utility value as well in
Yeah,
him that they see because, yes, maybe not at Bok level, but we've seen him in the midfield, and yes, Bok level 10, 15, I think he's decent enough. So I think it's more of a safe option and
yeah,
probably
like for
one,
like in terms of Filmser.
mm, so yeah, like you say, not too, no, not too happy about it, but also, qualms really, because you just have to accept it. He's on a good path, and
Yeah,
let's see, what comes of it.
yeah. I guess with Malherbe out, it'll test prop depth just a bit. We know we have guys there
Mm.
that are experienced, but I think we tend to go with the same front row unless guys are out injured. So this will
Yeah,
give a bit more rotation. I think to Toys even switching to the other side. Nyakani, I think they've put him out to pasture. He's no longer in the
yeah,
in the group chat. I think Faf de Klerk also. I think they're on the
yeah.
edge of
Well,
pushing him out, that he's no
mm,
longer in the group chat. Um, yeah, in terms of starting lineup, I'm not big on predictions, but I do feel like it'll be more experienced guys like the Reina and the Pollard combination, I think.
mm,
But at the same time, if Lubok's there, I'm not going to be surprised. It's Hanekom was on media duty. We know what that means. It means that
yeah,
there's a high
yeah, very
chance
high.
that he's going to be involved. And
Yeah,
for me, I also feel like it's kind of it's kind of the way things go, where guys are left out and then all of a sudden they're in the match day 23. That tends to happen somewhat with the box.
yeah. It's opportunities. How they come in different ways. And look, I think that just shows that he wasn't too far off. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
with him just getting that call up, and yeah, I think it's a message to I think a lot of the guys is that you got to stay ready. Keep delivering, and keep your head down, and just you might get that call, you might not. You might get that call, you might not, but you just got to keep playing.
Yeah, he was
But
on the
yeah,
verge of getting a call from Wales, I think. And that also, yeah, he was in the press conference saying, yeah, no, it was always the box, it was always the box. But you get turned down enough, you're gonna start looking
yeah,
elsewhere. And I'm sure they were propositioning him on that side. So I'm sure he thought about it. I mean, what he's gonna give the athlete answer. The athlete answer, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it was never in doubt. But for me, his form, it's he's just one of those guys that you can't leave out. And I
Mm,
was you can't. You watching him, it's him and Moody, you're watching for the Bulls every week, and it's like you can see that these guys are level above what's going on here with
yeah,
everyone else.
yeah. Yeah, and I think like also recently he's been able to find that sort of sweet spot of consistency, where that's just his level now. He can take wingers on, he can, he's that athlete, and that eighth man is a different prospect, yeah, and looking more, as a potential, to really fit that role, be that guy, and
Yeah,
that offloading game that he's got as well. Just the work rate, he's relentless, man. And also he's smart in terms of how he plays. Is able to link up with the
yeah,
backs. Yeah, man, he's a yeah, look, you want to see what he can do, at Bok level, because granted, test level is different. It's a different kind of
yeah.
pressure. So it'll be interesting to see how, he goes, and you can hope that you can only hope that he just, he kicks on really, and yeah, he just takes a serious claim.
I think he will. And personally, it's the versatility as well. I
Mm,
think he can play 6, 7, and 8.
yeah,
So I think this
optioning
guy
the line
is
out as
yeah,
well.
this is the beginning of at least a 50 test block, in my
Mm,
opinion.
mm,
And yeah, I just feel like the guy will go nicely. Another guy getting another run is going to be Fassi at 15. I think
yeah.
it's well, unless they put Vili, but I'm highly putting my money on Fassi to get picked at 15. I think he'll push on.
Yeah, I think so too. And also, I think one of the other factors is also you got to consider that Scotland are going to, they do have attacking pace, and they want to play with ball in hand, and I think, you know, definitely this is one of the games where you do want Fassi on, because there will be opportunities, because as
Yeah,
much as Scotland want to play with the ball, I think they will give some opportunities, and you need guys like him with that pace, to capitalize on those. So I agree with you there. I strongly agree.
yeah, I think I don't know. Scotland are always gonna come with like, yeah, we're quietly confident and that sort of thing. I've been hearing it this week, but guys, come on. Let's
Yeah,
be a
but
bit realistic here. I don't think it's in doubt. Personally, I don't think it's in doubt.
it'll be a test match, quarters. That's for sure. The box will be tested. Scotland, I think, with the guys from is it Glasgow, that I think, the midfield guys that
Yeah.
they've got in there, they do have some attacking threats. Guys that can, almost similarly busted up as well. But like you say, no real doubt. It's just, you don't want to get caught cold, because, if they get that momentum and feel that, they can do a job, it can be a long day. But like I said, this is the all or nothing tour. So, no doubts.
Personally, I don't think so. I think it's kind of like when the Sharks played against Glasgow Warriors, where it's like you're going to be able to put together things, they're going to be able to run the ball,
Yeah.
whatever. But when it comes to the forwards, they're just going to be hitting in the midfield, hitting out wide, and it's just gonna, cause problems and in that defense, and it's gonna cause those holes where the attacking players in the back can just feast off of that. So I think, end of the day, Springboks, there's just too much steel there. There's the Kolisis, the
Yeah.
Etzebets, those are the kind of guys. Ox, who's in the form that he's in, I think those are the
Yeah.
guys that are just gonna get us over the line with ease.
Mm. Yeah, and that's why I say, like, you don't want to get caught cold, you know. But I mean, you've got all the utilities there, to make that statement, But I mean, I'm just giving that respect, because
There's
at the
no
end of the
respect
day,
here. There's no respect. I give no respect.
at the end
I
of the
give no
day,
respect. We'll give them.
at the end
We'll
of the
we'll
day,
give them.
quarters.
it's gonna be a high. If we're looking for bonus points, we're gonna get bonus points,
Yeah.
but it's just a test match.
Yeah,
But
yeah, man. But yeah, look, I still think it'll be a good game.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it'll be interesting to see who's going to be there at 10. I think that's good to tell us about that, the mindset, the intent,
yeah.
of what the Boks want to do. So hey, there's a lot that we
I'm
can.
feeling Pollard for some reason. I think the
Mm,
only other thing that they may switch around, I think the wings maybe they'll mix and match. They maybe won't see Colby Arendse, maybe we'll see him like a Moody or a Mapimpi in there.
yeah,
So, but we'll see. We'll see on Thursday. There might be an emergency pod. We'll see.
yeah,
Uh, talking about wingers, Dwayne van der Merwe, even Scottish wingers, he's been linked with the Stormers. He's been added to the wish list with Mkhunu and Reinach as well. I think that deal is close to done now. Nohamba, they
yeah,
said the bag was too much. The bag was too much. He was reportedly wanted too much money. So
yeah. Well, rightly so. I think justified because you know, gotta ask what you're worth. You gotta. But I think for the Stormers, only that wish list is it's just natural in terms of from where they find
yeah,
themselves in. Where and when you look at a few of the names when you look at them that they're trying to sign, you can see that they're looking to try and refresh, but with guys that have the potential to be big game players. Like a Mkunu, yes, but I think Duan van der Merwe, I don't know because I think we've got guys here locally. Go look
mm,
at maybe some guys at the Griquas. We've got there's guys there. I think the Reinach one at 9. I think yes, good to have a Bok there, and you can only hope that a guy is it Imad Khan,
yeah,
can get close as well, so that he can pick up a few things. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a test level player, so yeah. But will it happen? Still to be seen. But they definitely do need that. After the
yeah,
last performance that they had, I think it's clear. And I think really, especially in the pack, more than anything, where and I've been
yeah. That's
saying
true.
they need those guys. They need who are the guys, that are stepping up and making that difference, where you can see that now this guy he's carrying, the team, even at least because you don't see that, so yeah, they need it.
Yeah, I think they do. I think Reinach will be a good addition.
Mm.
I know that some Bok supporters are iffy on him, but I think week to week basis, he's the kind of guy that the
Yeah,
Stormers will need, like especially in the URC. I think he'll
yeah,
he'll give direction. And I think
yeah.
he'll add into because they've got a lot of creative players there, and I think he'll just form
Mm.
part of that and add to that.
Mm. Mm. Agreed. But yeah,
Yeah, let's talk some URC. Going back, it's I think we've played about 5 games, some teams 6 games. I'd say like around about a third through the season. And I think the log is telling. I think this is
yeah,
kind of where I don't think there'll be that much change. It's everybody, it's still early, it's still early. It's third of the way through the competition. And I really think they've shown us who they are, so we must believe them in
yeah,
terms of most of these
yeah,
teams.
yeah.
Um, if we go into the Bulls versus Benetton, when I say something like that, it's because the Bulls were able to go there. It's raining, Italian opposition. It's a scrap, but they managed to get that win. You
Yeah,
know, they managed to show that this is why they're up there in the log.
yeah, yeah,
They managed to
yeah.
show that this is the difference between because the Sharks team went there and they couldn't do
Mm.
it, although they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, long tour, what." But
Nah.
in the
Mm-mm.
end, I think it's a fair statement and a fair result in terms of where the teams are.
Yeah, I think so too, and yes, the Bulls one I think particularly sticks out, because certainly the Italian opposition have gotten better,
Yeah,
in the URC, and we saw that, that okay, Benetton getting one over the Sharks, that wasn't no fluke in terms of how, yes, the weather played a played a part, in the Bulls game where it became tighter, but
Yeah.
they held their nerve, they held their nerve, got that away win, and that's those are the kind of wins that you're going to need, on the road to try and make it into a final, to try and win this thing, so yeah, and even with the Lions as well, just in terms of we're talking about lock position,
Yeah.
the Leinster game, for me, it was tighter, much tighter than the scoreline.
Yeah.
When you look at it, there's definitely opportunities. They were within reach, so there's positives there for them, and I think Leicester still have to come down, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, So I think, yeah, like you say, it's a fair reflection of where the teams are, and especially the South African teams. That the top two are the Bulls and the Lions. That are up there. In effectively top four. So yeah,
Yeah. In terms of Bulls, just that game, I think Robbie's form, I don't know where it's gone. For him, he'll be in the Bok team. I doubt he'll even play, but for someone that was
strange that.
pushing
Yeah,
such a strong case for the past 2 seasons, you finally
yeah,
get your break and then your form.
yeah. And the thing is, what's off-putting about it is that it's even below sort of a standard where you can say, where you can even try and say, okay, maybe there's this and there's that. This is
Yeah.
it's just not working out for him. And, don't know, maybe change something, because
Mhm.
certainly there's something that has changed, you know, and, yeah, like you have to ask the question, because how long is the rope going to be, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you can't just at least hit that, I think we spoke about it before, that level where you just know that, okay, even if this guy is not necessarily at peak performance, like a Marks, you used that example before, Bongi Mbunambi, that he delivers, you know, he delivers the basics, but yeah, it seems like it's a challenge for him right now.
Yeah, Bulls game, it's just good to see Johannes at 10.
Mm,
Hopefully, I know that was a late change. I like him at 10, so hopefully I'm hoping we can see more of him there. And then Visser, I think Visser every game I'm just more and more impressed by him. I think
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
great pickup for the
He's
Bulls.
he has been. You see that point of difference, and in the tight loose, those meters that he makes, I think that that weight, in the carry that you're
Yeah.
looking for from, so yeah, I think he's been very good for them, very good.
Yeah, moving on, let's go Stormers Warriors. Stormers Warriors, Donny Craven. It
I
looked good on TV, but entertaining. Yes, it was, but the result, not the result the Stormers wanted. And again, it's kind of that same thing that you're saying. Where are the guys? I think they've got a problem with the squad, like in terms of just personnel. I'm not inspired by Tiernason. I think they're missing a six here. The back line, I know everybody was complaining that Nell was on the wing. They put Dan to 13. All in all, I actually wasn't mad at it the whole game. I wasn't actually like I watched it after the fact, so I saw, a few comments and people were fuming and what have you, but I think it's a fair result of who the Stormers are right now.
Yeah,
This is the
thank you.
defending champions, and you lost at home. Granted, you did lose at home, but that's why they're
Yeah,
the defending champions. I don't think they were in it. They were in it. It's not like they got blown off the pitch, whatever. I think it's just a fair result of where this team is.
yeah, exactly that. And for me, I still say I don't have too much of an issue. I don't think their personal issues are in the backs. They've got all the quality in the backs. There's no dominance, outright dominance, fear factor, whatever you want to call it, from the guys that are in the pack, where you know that this guy's a game changer.
Yeah.
Where for example, guys that pull things out the fire like a Dion Faree, affect a game, be a nuisance. Like I'm just making an example of
That guy is
what.
that guy also for me,
Mm,
he's the heartbeat of the team. That
mm,
guy was like the heartbeat of the Stormers for me. He was the emotion, the driving force,
mm.
the attitude. Now
Yeah,
to take that guy out of the team, yes, there's ballers there, there's guys that can play, but they don't
but
have that
yeah,
same level of intensity.
yeah, it's just not there, and especially at pack level for me. It's because that's where it starts. And you see a team like the Warriors. I think they've somehow um, mastered almost that those last 20 minutes. Where they can, yes, Stormers at some point it looked like, yeah, look, they were in it, there was opportunity, but then just boom,
Yeah,
the transition player of the Glasgows just and they looked more. The Stormers looked more gassed than than the Warriors, in that last 20, which for me was quite strange as well, and yeah, it's like you say, fair reflection of where they are, yeah, it's nothing more to say than that. Other than the fact that they need to get those signings that they're trying to get. Otherwise, it's just you called it early in the season that sinking ship. But yeah,
yeah, and the thing is, I mean, they do put together magic and breakout tries, and they do crazy things. And then they score, and now it's 7 points, and then they're back in the game, and it covers over the fact that there are problems here. So, I
entertainment
mean, we'll
value for
see.
sure.
Yeah,
Entertainment value quarters for sure, but then now when it comes to, okay, winning the games and then going on to trying to contend for championships, look, it's almost like they go back to that Stormers Western Province era where, they were playing, it was exciting, but,
yeah,
and but things are not happening in terms of the results. So, yeah, I must be careful. It could be a
yeah.
very slippery slope.
Hugo Fenter as well, him with the lineouts, just noting that it's not just Weber that's
Yeah.
suspect with those lineouts, and he needs to sort them. The depth at hooker in the SA franchise is not, it's really
But
not the
that's
greatest.
that's why I keep saying about the next guys, because we know that there are guys that, this is the level, but the next guys, it's just seems
Yeah,
like the gap is too big, and yeah, it's going to kill a lot of teams,
yeah.
especially when the big hitters are missing.
Yeah, Sharks. They definitely had big hitters. 11 Boks in the starting team. Kolisi had 8.
I
Munster on
know.
a losing streak. Even after this one, the coach even said, "Mm-mm, I'm done. I'm here. I'm done." Even after it was the one that sent him over the edge against the Sharks. Yeah, I think just again, Munster tactically they couldn't deal with box kicks from Grant
Yeah,
Williams. Grant Williams, those box kicks were excellent. What they were
mm,
doing in terms of the chases, and then Kolisi like almost like in a second chase, looking
yeah,
for the ball if it came down. I
yeah,
think he did that a few times, and then
yeah,
give the service, and then the guys can play.
yeah.
Tactically for Munster, like yes, great execution and everything, but it's like they keep on doing this, and you keep not finding an answer. So they're just gonna
Yeah.
keep on doing this.
Subdue, penetrate, and they found, they identified that in the air, and it is really simple,
Yeah,
for the Sharks, to just really, if you look at it, low risk, basically similar to how the box play, or granted, look, obviously you've got 11 box in there, so you know
yeah.
that's what works. That's what they know. That's what they understand, and which for me says a lot without saying a lot. Because if you look at that point of difference, it's vast.
Yeah,
In terms of when they are not there and when they are there. But at the end of the day, I was happy with the result. Good execution. I think they controlled that from right
Yeah.
up until maybe the last 10 minutes of the game. But by then, the game was
Yeah,
really in the
it was
bag.
done. And
You
I mean,
know,
even from the beginning, Sharks took the kick, two hits and try. It's
yeah,
like, guys, okay, I know the Springboks, they cause problems with their carries, and I think it's
yeah,
kind of something that's under sort of noted is that the way those guys carry, it
yeah.
disrupts your defense so badly that
Mm,
it's almost like we can talk about tactics and defensive systems and something. But when someone goes in, takes out defenders, it causes chaos. It causes now who's where? Are we on the right side of the ruck? Where's this? Where's that? And then by
mm,
the time you look up, there's another carry doing the same thing. And it's
yeah.
it's it's just basics of rugby, and that's what's taking this team forward.
I think two key things for me: intensity and focus. That was one of the things for me that looked evident watching on the TV screen. Is even after scoring tries, even after good plays, they just looked like they wanted to get back onto, okay, right, next job. you know,
Yeah,
uh, and, and like you say, that attitude, it carries over even in the way that they do
mm,
carry, and like you said, the basics just being executed at a higher level with absolute focus and intensity, and that's what you get, and again though, still to say, how come the next guys, it's just it really, it's almost like it flatlines,
yeah,
where it's, yeah, without the Galacticos, or there's
yeah.
no
We're
power
gonna
there,
see Plum is gonna be back in the hot seat when those guys aren't
No,
there, but
I
we'll
think
see.
he will. I don't want to be sort of fooled by, yeah, the fact that the Boks are there, because reality is, there will be times where they won't be there,
Yeah,
and 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 I think that's where, a full examination will be made. But look, can't really complain. The performances of the guys, the Boks delivered Bok-like performances, showed why they're there. Just the execution speed of the ball, like you say, you get those kicks, it's the second man gets the ball. And, after those carries, it's just, you've got a halfback that's just lightning quick. If you give him
yeah,
half a yard, he's gone. It's just like you say, a lot of disruptions, in not only just in the carries, in the way that the backline guys attack, the options that they have, putting boot to ball, it's good,
yeah.
when they get it right, and when they've got those guys there, so you can't complain about that game. You
Yeah,
can't.
even the totally dominant scrums, they're also
Mm.
dominant. That Esterhazen try was basically a scrum try.
Yeah.
The way that the forwards put them in position.
Oh,
I think,
that was too easy. Even just for
yeah,
most, it looked too easy.
Chituka, I think, is coming along in terms of his performance. Like,
Mm,
he sometimes gets momentums where he sometimes looks like the guy that was at the Lions, and then
mm.
sometimes not, more often than not disrupted by injury. But I think that he's starting to look like that kind of a player amongst the box
Yeah,
there.
I was about to
So,
say,
so
with the big guys, no man, it's like he belongs, and
yeah,
he's come more comfortable there, and yeah, that work rate, you saw all of that. You're like, no, that's the guy we know,
yeah.
and it was good to see, maybe, you know they can do something there, ministers,
The papers are there. It's
you know,
Russ. It's in the ball's in Russ's court now. It's
yeah,
in
man.
Russ's court. Lions versus Leinster. Just quick one on that. That one, I guess, like you said, it's a fair result in terms of the log, and it was tight, especially in the beginning. Only
Mm,
thing for me, I would have liked to see Nohamba, especially in the first half when it was drier. As the game went longer, it started raining more difficult
mm,
conditions. By the time Nohamba came on at like 67 minutes or something, what is he gonna do at that point?
yeah,
Him
yeah.
and Lowe, I really don't understand. I don't understand this thing. I don't know what the long-term plan, long-term strategy is because you had Van Wyk, Low, and Nohamba all on the bench during the tour, which I understand Currie Cup players let them
Mm.
play. You break in case of emergency. Then they put them in, all three of them, when they saw this is going to be a tricky game in Italy, whatever. Then they get the result. Then they drop two of them or
Ah.
rotate two of them. So I don't understand the plan there.
Look, I think selection at the end of the day, when you look at it, yes, hindsight, but not even hindsight, just off the jump. Um, you'd think, like you say, in terms of selection, I think we were expecting, the Lions to go all out, put on all the big hitters to say, let's have a go, have a crack.
Yeah,
And, there's no better way to try and get a fast start away from home, silence the crowd and play from there instead of the other way around. I think even maybe tactically like that, the coaches got it wrong from a selection point of view and also approach, um,
yeah,
because I mean you'd wanna if you wanna get a result, you wanna shoot first, and try and see if you can knock them down and keep them there. But yeah, I agree with you. Questionable. I mean, what you gonna do away from home? Lost 10 minutes, and the rain. Lost 13 odd minutes, and
yeah.
it's raining.
And the
And,
the
and Leinster have
massive
already built their game.
they have
You
built the
know.
lead. The massive
Mm.
miscalculation was the fact that there was no fullback replacement. It
Yeah,
was already gonna be difficult. Then you
yeah.
lose the fullback who is one of the
Let's
more
also
stable
consider that.
people. So now it's like who plays there? Errol van der Merwe
Yeah,
moved there. Everybody was saying Creel should have gone there because I think he's played fullback before.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Jonker should have played fullback because he played fullback for the Greek was about 2 seasons ago and he wasn't bad.
Mm,
So
mm.
I think they should have put Jonker at fullback and then brought in Marius Low.
Now,
So I
Ricardo
mean,
Lopes he's got to put his hand up for that one. He's got to put his hand up for that one.
whoever made that decision because Errol van der Merwe he can play, but he cannot play fullback.
Yeah,
There was times where they were
yeah,
telling him Marius Low was telling him, no, move. You're supposed to be central. He didn't know,
yeah.
like he did not know where to stand. He did not, and it's not
Mm,
his fault. He doesn't play there every week. Or he doesn't play
yeah,
there every third week or every fourth week, like guys that rotate and can play
yeah.
in different positions. He plays wing, so
He's always been on
why
the wing.
we're not playing the Shimlers here. We're playing.
Yeah.
That was the last time we played fullback. I think Varsity Cup.
Uh,
So
uh,
I mean,
he's
I
forgotten
don't
all
get that
about
one.
fullback. He's forgotten all about that. But yeah, it's also factor that in as well. Is the early injury. Kieran Horn going off. I think that also did disrupt them a bit. But I think even then, that was an opportunity to say, okay, look, let's already now the chips are down. Let's
Yeah,
try to go all in. Maybe even if it's not all in, but let's put on a big blue chip and
yeah,
let's see, how we can try and stay in this and get something out of it because for large periods they were there and thereabout, where
yeah,
just a small little thing, just execution, it could have gone their way
yeah. The
and we could build
lineouts.
that pressure, but yeah, it just wasn't coming together for them, on the day. And but I'm not too disappointed. I wouldn't be too disappointed,
Yeah,
if I was a Lions supporter because you know these guys are certainly. I think they can get better than that, and I think the coaches will definitely fix, their approach, in terms of.
yeah. They're gonna have to go again because they're playing Munster
Mm,
and they're playing
mm,
Munster away, which is likely gonna be a similar type of
similar
weather away
conditions.
on tour. So it's gonna say like,
Mm,
okay, what have we learned? What have we learned?
yeah,
But I
yeah.
guess we'll get back to URC when URC is back. It's box for this week. Any closing remarks from you, Chris?
Look, I think, like I said, it's an all or nothing tour. That's I'm claiming that, clean sweep, going back to number one.
From me, it's no respect. No respect. 20 points, 30 points. It's just try after try. I think
Try
that's it
after
from us, guys.
try.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for
Uh,
listening.